What is good, everybody? Today I'm going to show you 2 ways to warm up before you hop into ranked matchmaking. I do this before I solo queue, and it seems to be a nice routine, and I know there's a lot of players who don't know how to set up like a good Octagon warm-up map, and then also how to go check out pro replays. So if you know the gamer tag of some of the pros that you enjoy watching, you can follow them on the Xbox app, and then you can look at their profile in Halo Infinite to see their most recent matches. So for this example, Lucid, if you go to his profile here, into match history, we can see some of the recent ranked games that he's played. So let's say I'm having trouble on recharge ranked. I'm gonna go in, watch the film, and I do this before an Octagon warm-up, because the Octagon warm-up's really for muscle memory. This is where the position and decision-making growth come into play. It's really nice to get high-level gameplay like this. I don't know why I paused or the oddball audio cut there. Because honestly, if you're in a plat rank, gold rank, even in diamond, positioning and decision making is so critical, and it's going to define for you your growth, probably more so than your aim and your accuracy. Yeah, crosshair position tends to be pretty bad in like gold and silver, but watching back pro replays like this gives you a really good sense of where to be on the map, power positions, and then, oh, Mick wins in this game. Right on. Game sense, right? Are you contesting power-ups? Are you playing in a part of the map that just isn't that useful? And you can pick up a whole lot. I remember when I was playing ranked in the early seasons, I really didn't have a good sense of positioning, and now you're punished for it even more because the player base has grown a lot. Back during season 1 and 2, I got Onyx and then took a really long break from the game. And now I'm just fighting to relearn a lot of these things here in like Diamond 4 or whatever. And this is one of the best ways to learn. I mean, check this out. He knew the spawn setup. He knew the positioning of his teammates. He predicted it, rotates, and these are really useful things to come check out. So I highly recommend, if you're not going to watch your own replays, which is also really helpful, definitely try and watch some of the pro replays when you can. Nice. I love that jump. Oh my gosh, that would have been absolutely nasty if he hit that. So I typically watch 1 or 2 of these replays, and then I head over and do some Octagon. Nice shots. And they still got ball control. All right, let's go check out the Octagon here. Real quick, before we set up the Octagon game mode, I still use Academy in the training mode a lot. So useful for practicing your slides, your jumps, and really practical sightlines. So don't sleep on Academy, it's still useful. But shout outs to Above Average Cody for showing off his Octagon setup, and it's been really useful. I've been doing it about 10-15 minutes before I hop into solo queue almost every time I play. So you're going to go to the map here. If you go to popular and we search Octagon, it's kind of hard to reach the keyboard. I fractured my ankle tripping down some stairs this week, so I've got a huge boot on. Octagon HDS 2042 is the one we're going to use. I like Ubernick's Octagon as well. It's really aesthetically nice, but it's mainly close and mid-range fights, whereas 2042 is much similar to the sightlines that you're going to be fighting at. Now, even though it didn't change the thumbnail, it will load in the correct map here. And you can bookmark this map so you can get back to it easier. Go to the mode editor, select the mode, 343 Industries. I'm going to tab over a few until we see HCS FFA Slayer right here on page 7. Then you're going to go into the mode editor itself, into match. You want to make sure we have instant respawns, just somewhere here. Respawn delay, instant. I think that's the only thing we set in here. And then we go to sandbox. Bandit Evo as our primary, no secondary weapon. You can practice with the sniper rifle, but the bot on harder difficulties is just sort of a jerk with the sniper rifle, and I don't find it to be that fun. Take off the frag grenades, and then make sure there's no equipment. And then we want infinite ammo and bottomless clip. Where is that? Here we go. Infinite ammo on, bottomless clip on. I think that's everything here. We go to the bots. We turn on 1 bot for FFA. And ODST or Spartan is up to you, depending on your player skill level. Spartan, I honestly think, is much better. You're going to practice much better habits. That Strafe's just a lot nicer. But ODST is good too. Then you can save a copy here, and you can just say this is my like solo warm-up playlist or whatever. I've already got one saved, and then we're going to hop in and go play this. And what's nice is it's a 15-minute time limit, and you just get to practice your muscle memory. Do note the best way to like really warm up and improve is to obviously go play and watch back your replays and really be intentional with how you're playing, your positioning and decision making. All of this stuff is really helpful. They're tools in the toolbox, but it's not going to just you could grind, your heart out on Octagon, play hours a day, and it, really won't probably make a huge difference if your positioning and decision making isn't really good. And you only get that from really trying to learn by playing regularly, and then again, watch back your VODs. So one of the things that I focus on here when I'm in the Octagon is using my left stick as much as possible. Coming back to controller for the first time in like over a year, I want to use the right stick a ton, like probably more than I should. And so much of this game is using the right stick in tandem with the left stick. So let me show you. I'm not going to move here at all. I'm only going to right stick aim. And it's going to be really difficult depending on where the bot spawns. You have to be very intentional, make these super small movements. But then if you bring in your left stick, it becomes so much easier to stay with the enemy and track the bot. So like I said, you get the crosshair on the enemy, and then you're using mainly your left stick to sort of track his movement. It doesn't mean you mirror his movement one-to-one, because that'll get you killed a ton once you play against players who are decent at strafing. This is unfortunately the area the bot isn't that good at. He doesn't really throw many crouches into his strafe, doesn't do a lot of the tricky movement that you're going to see from like a Diamond or an Onyx player. But it's a really good method to just practice and improve. The other thing that I practice here too is marking my opponent. So every time I get into a gunfight, I'm using my mark key on my controller, and that is like my back left paddle on my Elite. I typically run 3 paddles on the Elite, but with Infinite, I've switched to all 4. And it is so useful in this game for you to drop beneficial pings for your team, especially if you're in a gunfight. You want to be able to drop that ping, especially if you're in a losing position, so the enemies, or your teammates know where the enemies are and that they're weak. There's something so much more urgent about seeing a ping above the enemy with the enemy color highlighted. So if you ping an opponent with your crosshair close enough to an actual enemy, you get the enemy coloring, and it goes across not just your HUD, but everybody else's HUD. So it's just really useful if you're trying to improve your communication. Sometimes the bot's going to spawn behind you, etc. But this is a really nice thing to do. Run it for 15 minutes before you hop into matchmaking. And let me know after like a week, are you feeling better? Because I've been doing this now for a couple of weeks, and it was hugely helpful after such a long break and coming back and playing controller again. Obviously, if you have a friend who's willing to run Octagon with you, it's going to be way more beneficial. You could even open this up in the custom game browser, see if somebody joins. But many of us, I know, don't have that opportunity or play at weird timings, so this is worthwhile. Don't sleep on the training mode, but that is really my routine right now, other than practicing some jumps and slides. A lot of replay watchage, that's been the main thing. So if you enjoyed this video, please let me know with a like, subscribe to the channel, and drop any tips or ideas that you think would help a new or returning player down below. Been having a lot of fun again here with Ranked Halo Infinite. Hope you're having a good week, and I will see you again in the very next video.